Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Time Isn't Real podcast. We're Ragnarok Raven, and we have something fun planned for today, don't we?
Yes. Pokemons.
So,
Yeah.
next week is Pokemon Week. We all know that. It's a Pokemon
Yep.
Week. It's not just Pokemon Day. It's a celebration of Pokemon. Next Tuesday, we will be getting the news for the latest stuff that no one cares about, mainly Master EX, the Pokemon Cafe game, Pokemon Sleep.
Cafe Remix looks fun.
It looks cute.
Unite.
Yeah, that's one I was trying to remember. The one really no one cares about.
I'd be interested in trying Unite. It looks...
It's
And
just
to be fair, Phoenix, more people care about Pokemon Unite than you might think.
it's because it's a big Chinese market.
Not even just Chinese market.
I think it's because it's a MOBA.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's...
MOBAs are popular.
Something League of Legends,
When
something
you tack
deodorant.
an IP like Pokemon to one.
I mean, yeah, we got League of Legends, we
Smite.
have Dota, we have Smite, which I was just watching Dark play.
Smite's fun.
Technically, Heroes of the Storm still exists, but
It
it's
does.
on
It does?
life support. It's
It
on...
exists?
So as far as I know, it's no longer like getting patched or anything. It's just that the servers still exist and you can still play it.
Did you know there was a Witcher Moab once?
Moab.
Moab.
MOBA.
The Witcher, mother of all bombs.
uh,
I didn't know that there was a Witcher MOBA.
yeah, it came out right
That's
after
interesting.
Witcher 3, but it didn't capitalize on any of the Witcher. Geralt wasn't even a starting hero.
That's bizarre.
It was.
Uh,
But we will also next Tuesday we will also be getting at least 2 minutes, probably, of what this year's game's gonna be. What that is, I don't think any of us could probably guess because
no, it's
We
really...
We also
Weird.
have this week's podcast as an opportunity to sell Dark on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest. I would say wait until we see
Fucking
what this new game is.
Best bitches.
I'm gonna be honest.
Okay,
It's
but-
The problem is, given how Pokemon works, there's a very high chance I'd have to buy a new console as well, and I won't have the money for that.
Yeah, he has a Switch, but honestly, I would just say buy Violet right off the bat. It's fun. I don't think that we're going to be getting definitive versions anymore because we're getting DLCs now. And
So
if it's a Legends-like game or a spin-off or a remake, then there's no reason not to get Scarlet or Violet.
yeah.
Let's go Johto when.
So my thing with Scarlet and Violet, the games are janky, like super janky, and they, the environments don't look very good. All of that, but you know what? It's the most fun I've ever had in an official Pokemon game.
I honestly think I like it more than Black and White one.
Wow.
I mean, to
Damn.
be fair here, Nate. We like Morrowind and Oblivion walked so Skyrim could run. It's that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
And Skyrim
I'm
again.
gonna be real.
And Skyrim again. And Skyrim again.
Okay,
And
I'm
then
gonna,
2 more mod-breaking patches.
can I talk now?
Go ahead.
Yes. Sorry.
I'm gonna be real. I love the Unova games, especially Black and White 1, but Gen 9 so far has been so fan-gamey and so Gen 5 in all the best ways that I think it's reached the top slot for me.
Can I
Wow.
ask a question?
Yes.
What if it gets even more fan gamey and whatever happens includes Unova next?
I mean, then, yeah.
Because
I mean,
we're not done.
do a Unova remake.
Phoenix,
Is
you're
it, though?
assuming that, or you're operating under an assumption that, if there's a Unova type thing, it'll make me enjoy Scarlet and Violet less or something.
No, I
Because
think it'll make you make Gen 9 make Gen 9 like take the peak of best generation ever.
Okay, fair. I still think peak Pokemon game is Explorers of Sky, but Scarlet and Violet is currently peak main series game for me.
I agree with that.
And all I'm gonna say about the possibility of Unova remakes is they better not fuck up the music again.
What if it's not a remake?
I mean, we can have both a remake and a Legends. I don't care.
Who
But
says,
what do you mean again?
Who says it's going to be Legends?
Listen, like what I mean by again is what happened with half of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
The music there was great.
Okay, maybe I'm just a brass gen boomer then. I don't know.
Okay, maybe. But the music in the remakes has consistently been great. Like, I don't like Fire Red and Leaf Green, but I do like the music.
Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm a brass gen boomer that's just salty they took half the bombast out of Route 119's theme.
Ooh, that's a shiny.
And like I will say, like with Heart Gold Soul Silver, the music there is really good too, but I prefer the originals, but that's because I love the GBC sound font.
Fair.
You know, and that's entirely personal preference.
Yeah, like
you know.
something Kuda brought up to me when we were talking about Pokemon, I think it was yesterday, is that to you, a lot of the Heart Gold and Soul Silver themes are forgettable, except for the new stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see it, honestly. Like, Ho's theme is fucking amazing.
I wouldn't say it's except for the new stuff. I would say it's except for specific boss tracks, actually.
Mhm.
Like,
Fair.
there are new area themes that I just do not fucking remember. And that's how it is with Gen 4 music for me in general. Whether it's Johto music or Sinnoh music, something about the instrumentation just doesn't jive with me. I just end up forgetting it unless it's very specific battle themes.
Yeah. Like out of
I think the only area theme I can remember offhand is the Distortion World, because it's platinum.
I was about to bring that up. Like there's 3 themes that stand out in my head for Gen 4. Cynthia, Distortion World, Arceus.
Not Ho?
Yeah,
I'm talking about Diamond Pro Platinum.
Okay.
if we're talking Sinnoh music, Cynthia, Arceus, the event theme with like it's similar to the Lake Trio area theme, but there's like a specific theme that they use for the event where they're circling Mount Coronet. Giratina, Distortion World, and I think that's it as far as Diamond Pearl Platinum.
In my case with
Looker.
Sinnoh, it's of course Cynthia again. Route 216 because goddamn I love it. Mount Coronet exterior, not Spear Pillar because Spear Pillar is not that memorable. And everything about the battle zone except for the fight area.
Meanwhile, with Hoenn, for example, I could be humming something and it'll turn into Fortree City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't everything turn into Fortree City eventually?
Yeah.
Except for Evergrande City, which turns into Route 104.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Only for that to turn into Fortree City.
Yeah.
It's circular.
One thing I will give, like, I will absolutely give Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is the Mount Pyre interior theme.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
What I like about ORS's music is that when you're fighting Groudon and Kyogre, you can hear parts of the original version of the theme.
I found myself back on those tracks when I was going through the ORAS music, and yeah, you can.
There's also, like, I wouldn't call it something similar with Giratina's theme in Platinum, but I think part of the reason why Giratina's theme stuck with me is because you can hear a heart rate thing flatlining in it.
Oh yeah, heart monitor.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which I just
I-
think is cool that they included that as part of the main, like, rhythm? Not rhythm. A main part of the theme.
Yeah, I
The
love it
motif.
when video games put other things in the music that aren't necessarily music.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, like
And
Sword and Shields did this with wolf howls.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking someone turned wolf howls into an instrument.
um it's not Pokemon, but one game that did that really well was actually Breath of the Wild.
Oh,
So in each of the four main dungeons of the game, you're like 100 years prior, there were four champions that did all, or that had like they were in these machines, and the main evil guy took them over, in a battle with these champions, and beat them. And so in each of the themes for these dungeons, there's an SOS sound somewhere in the theme.
wow.
And where it is and how distinct it sounds from the music ties into the character, of the champion that fought there. Um, like one of the champions is mostly a healer, so her SOS, comes fairly early on. But then you have the, rogue type who's really confident in his skills and stuff. Uh, his SOS doesn't come until like several minutes into the song, and when it does come, it's the most distinct out of all of them because he's panicking. You know,
Oh.
just a really cool way to do that.
Also, I just saw this on the GTS. Leviator.
Yeah, I glanced over at that, and my brain didn't like. My brain processed that differently, and I read it as Leviosa for some reason.
I mean, I mean, I mean, it does fly in modern games.
Okay, fair. Yeah, the plan right now is for me to pick up Violet with part of my tax refund, possibly,
Yeah,
which is next month.
with the DLCs, right?
Yeah, with the DLCs.
Okay.
It's worth it. It's a good
Because the DLCs, like, made it go from second best to best main series game for me.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
And I have expressed interest in playing it docked, so I will have even more jank.
Ha.
I thought it was more jank and handheld.
No, it's more jank and docked, which is why the Switch Lite doesn't have many problems with it, if any
Right.
at all.
You know what's funny?
The reason it's more janky in docked mode is because it's upscaling the resolution, and that makes it more difficult for the Switch to handle things, especially when Game Freak is the one
Yeah, Game
doing
Freak
the.
doesn't know how to
Yeah.
do
The
stuff.
only reason I want to play it in docked mode is because I have a wired Pro controller and the Joy-Cons don't fit in my hands very well.
Mm,
I get that one. I hate the Joy-Cons because of that. They're too small. But yeah, Scarlet and Violet is a phenomenal game story-wise. It's a good Pokemon game, possibly the best Pokemon game. But boy, is it unpleasant to look at times.
yeah, I've
Yeah.
never really, like, again, I have a Switch Lite, so take it with a grain of salt. But also, I've seen people playing it docked, and like, aside from textures popping in and lighting flickering, I've never really had an issue with how it looks.
Yeah. I mean, this comes into personal preference again. I personally think that aside from the Pokemon models themselves, the game is just ugly.
Yes,
Mm,
100% agree. The Pokemon models were
Not even
immaculate.
necessarily like bad graphics, but just graphics that don't appeal to my personal preference in art style and how a game looks and stuff like
right.
that.
And
So what's being said here is it really is kind of the oblivion of Pokemon.
Oblivion might look better.
Yeah.
No.
They have. Hold on.
Have you
They
played
have better
Oblivion
trees.
any time in the last 18 years?
Yes,
Phoenix?
actually, it's. I have the Xbox disc right there.
Oblivion does not look better than Scarlet and Violet.
It does
Not
not.
by default, no.
They might have better trees and grass.
You can mod it to look better, but not
Yeah.
by default.
But and even then, you kind of have a Ship of Theseus moment because Oblivion is so fucking old now.
I just hope Game Freak learns how to do better.
If
Yeah.
Game Freak learns how to 3D, they will eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, they did really good
Yeah.
with the models. I am really impressed with the models from Gen 9.
Mhm.
They will get better. It's just a matter of time. And in the meantime, if it looks bad, I don't care.
Let's not
I'm not
forget
there for the
that.
graphics.
Let's not forget that it took 7 years for them to fully unlock the power of the DS.
Yeah.
They should just.
Remember when Pokemon games were the games that were like pushing the hardware to their limits?
Yeah.
Yeah, now they struggle to
I mean, you
have
could argue they
PS3
still are,
graphics.
just in a bad way.
Yeah,
They are.
True.
It's just that they
Yeah.
kind of forgot to stop when the limits are reached.
It's not even that. It's that they're reaching the limits not through just sheer scale like they used to. They're reaching the limits because of things like memory leaks and,
Yeah.
Mhm.
just bad programming.
I will say
Which
though,
I have to be fair to them on that one. Using an engine like Unity for literally anything large scale is very difficult anyway.
Mhm.
What were you saying, Phoenix?
going back to how ugly it was, it did get prettier in the DLC. Like the DLC, the trees were better, the grass textures was better.
Yeah.
But it also ran worse. Sometimes.
I
Yeah,
feel
like-
I feel like the only person who doesn't give a shit about the graphics. I'm not here for the graphics. I'm here to have a good time.
Right.
Yeah, but there's a point where you need to step up and like compete with the rest of your surroundings.
And I think that we disagree on where that point is. Because
I
I've
just
never
wanted-
had a problem with the graphics.
I think the whole thing is they don't know how they need to know how to 3D model a world now. They got the Pokemon down. Now the
Yep.
world needs to be fixed.
And
that'll
a
take
lot
time.
of my problem with the graphics don't have to do with how good the graphics is, but the actual choices behind what they do for the graphics, which is something that's unrelated to skill. And
Yeah,
just
so it's like how some people don't like how BDSP is just the Diamond Pearl Platinum art style but 3D. That's a choice and an opinion, not objectively this is bad.
right.
Do you ever think if Pokemon went to 2.5D, things would have been smoother?
Yes.
I mean, as far as it running goes, yeah.
No, not just
That's
running. It's
kind
like
of-
the
that's just kind
when Pokemon went to 3D models, it was such a polarizing moment for the community, and a lot of Pokemon
Phoenix,
lost
I'm
its.
going to say that given the struggles Square Enix has had with that style of 2.5D, it's really hard to say whether Game Freak would be able to pull it off.
I also think that most of the problem is that the older fans don't like change.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't think it's because I was all for going to 3D models. Like I was
Well, yeah,
full
like-
on board with Scarlet, not Scarlet,
that's not
X and Y.
really the type of change she's talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
like,
know, but now I'm also
people-
starting to think we should go back to sprites.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it was so polarizing because people don't like change. I'm not talking about what people want to do now. I'm talking about what people wanted back in Gen 6.
Right.
I wanted to go in all other
Because
power
I
plants in Gen
hear
6.
people saying that the 3D models are lifeless or soulless, that the sprites looked better, etc., etc. Those are opinions, and I feel like those opinions are informed mostly by nostalgia.
Well, the first generation
Uh,
of 3D models for the Pokemon were not great.
Which
Um,
given what they were working with, the 3DS, it was an admirable effort.
Hmm.
Yeah.
mhm.
I'm not saying it's not,
Uh,
but when they went to the Switch with with Sword and Shield, or not even Sword and Shield, the motion game I
Let's go
forget.
with
Let's go with Sword
What?
and Shield.
let's go.
Yeah, let's forget about that.
yeah. Let's go with the tech demo, and Sword and Shield was fine.
And
Eh.
even for a tech demo, Let's Go actually looked kind of nice to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was
it
a pretty
actually
game.
does
Yeah.
look nice.
It's a pretty game, yeah. But it's the controls.
And about BDSP, I feel like I'm one of the few who actually didn't mind the fact that they just translated the DS art style to 3D.
I don't mind either.
I hated it. Honestly,
It looks good. It's just not what people expected.
Yeah, it looks good. It's just like BDSP was a faithful remake, and the art style was our first hint at that.
a bit too faithful as it included all the bugs from BDS.
Not all of them.
I mean,
Not all of them. Mostly just tweaking.
As a glitch lover, I love that type of thing.
Okay. Also, as a glitch lover, I think it was intentional.
Yes,
Yeah, like-
absolutely. It was completely intentional. That's why I love it.
Yeah.
They
They'll
They
never
kept
admit it, but it felt intentional, especially considering you activate it pretty much the exact same way.
No, listen. Here's how I know it was intentional. When they were showing gameplay of, I think it was like during an interview or something, but they were showing gameplay of Diamond and Pearl, and they showed tweaking.
Oh god. Yeah, it was
Wow.
intentional then.
And honestly, I love them for it.
I have a
Like
question.
as an aside, with the
Yes.
Oblivion remake, that's kind of been semi-confirmed. I hope they keep all the funny glitches from Oblivion.
What's
let
your
me make
question?
people melt into the floor.
Or levitate into the sky. Make sure I can climb on paintbrushes still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the big one.
What was your
Uh,
question,
and-
Phoenix?
a hypothetical question, really. Let's
Yeah.
say next Tuesday, let's say Black and White 3, Pokemon Gray, or some weird new Black and White Paradox game is announced. But it's in the style of ICLA's BDSP.
I wouldn't mind.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. And Phoenix, I'm just gonna say, we still have not gotten Pokemon Z. We are not getting Pokemon Gray.
I'm just,
Okay,
that's
wait,
why
we
I
could
said it
have
was
gotten we could have gotten
hypothetical.
Pokemon Z, except Game Freak was trying to work on different projects for once, and those were all a flop, and it took time and effort away from a potential Pokemon Z.
And that's why we got
They
Zygarde
actively made
Story.
the choice not to make a Z version because they were trying to expand their horizons, and those horizons collapsed.
Yeah, like this is kind of a side point. That sort of stuff. A lot of people forget that Game Freak aren't actually owned by Nintendo.
Right.
That's a
They're a
partnership.
second party. Yep.
Yeah. The
Another
second
news, I
party
just
bordering on third party, considering they still publish for other consoles and PC.
In other news, I just got this on the GTS.
Wasn't Game Freak's first game for the PlayStation or something?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. It was a weird, like, visual novel thing that didn't make a lot
What?
of sense, right?
What Pokemon is this? This is Japanese.
Kartana. You can see it underneath the image.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, shiny Kartana.
Oh, that's shiny.
Nice.
I didn't realize it was
Yeah.
shiny.
You can see the red
I mean-
sparkle.
The main reason
Ah.
I wouldn't notice it was shiny is because I don't like remember exactly what colors it has in the first place. So
I was honestly just scrolling through and I saw the Kartana. I was like, wait, shouldn't that be yellow?
What do
Also,
they
like,
want
back
for it?
on Phoenix's hypothetical, I think I'd actually go one step further and say I'd be fine with pretty much any game moving forward being in that style.
Yeah.
You don't have to have full-on terrain to have open world. Just look at
Right.
cassette beasts.
See, that's why I'm starting to think maybe if we go back to that, and that's why I brought up 2.5D earlier. But if we go back to that
the-
simplistic style, I think we'd be better off.
What I would love is to see a Pokemon game with a super scaled back roster and the game in HD 2D style. That would be so cool.
Can I propose another hypothetical?
Sure.
Imagine this. Let me set the stage. We get
Oh,
a
boy.
strange, not reboot or remake of Black and White, but we get Black and White, but every Pokemon in it are Paradox Pokemon.
I don't think that they would do that mid-generation
No.
because Paradox Pokemon are new Pokemon.
Yeah, they are.
They wouldn't do
I
that
know.
mid-generation.
But what if they are only on this game?
That doesn't matter. They wouldn't do that mid-generation because that's a huge home update. That's a huge Dex update. They're going to eventually have these things in future games. It's just too much to do mid-generation when we already got quite a lot of Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet.
Okay, so what if it's not
And-
all Paradox Pokemon, but you get like some Paradox Pokemon? Well, let me
That would be
rephrase.
fine.
Yeah.
The Paradox Pokemon aren't legendaries or special Pokemon anymore. They're just like wild Pokemon. It's like that's the Pokemon of this region.
I wasn't assuming that they were
Uh,
legendary.
They're equivalent to Ultra Beast, I think.
Yeah, but I wasn't assuming that they were legendary. I was just assuming a dex of Paradox Pokemon. And while that would be fun, I don't think they would do it mid-generation like this.
I just have a
I feel
feeling
like the
something weird's
Dex of
coming.
Paradox Pokemon kind of defeats the point of the name.
That too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, something
And
weird's coming.
the idea behind what Paradox Pokemon are.
What was that, Nate?
I was saying it also kind of goes against kind of the idea of what Paradox Pokemon are too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know that you have a reliable source, but I think that source is misinterpreting something because I don't think that's what's going to
Oh
happen.
no, this is speculation. This is just me. I just have
Oh.
this weird feeling. This is just me saying that I have a weird feeling. We're going to be getting
Okay,
something out of left field, and I don't know what
Okay,
it is.
while it would be really cool and I would not be upset to see it go this way, I don't think that they're going to make an entire dex of Paradox Pokemon.
Right.
I wouldn't mind being wrong, but I don't think
Oh.
they're going to do it.
Like, I could see them, since we're in between generations, do kind of what ORAS did with more Mega Pokemon just in the middle of that generation. Just more Paradox Pokemon in the, in a
Yeah,
different
the
place.
Mhm.
only problem with that is that Mega Evolutions did not add a dex number in Paradox
That's true.
2, but we did have basically the same concept the next generation with Poipole, Naganadel, Blacephalon, and Sakataka.
Yeah. And also Meltan and Melmetal.
I always
And
forget about those.
And all the Hisuian Pokemon.
What?
We're talking about like going
Wait,
from Gen 8 to Gen 9.
just-
We're talking about Gen
New-
7.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
talking about in between
as-
gens, period.
Mostly, yeah.
Oh, I was talking about Gen 7.
Mhm.
Yes, there were some Hisuian Pokemon that added to the Dex total. But what I'm saying is that in Gen 7, that was the first time they did that mid-generation.
Right.
Mhm.
And it was a good change.
Mhm.
I want Pokemon to adopt the Digimon model of
Yes.
revealing creatures. By which, I mean, they only reveal like a few at a time, and nobody expects every single Digimon to be in every single game.
Hmm.
I mean, they kind of did go back to that when they got rid of the national decks.
Yeah, and I think they should have done that sooner.
Hmm.
They kind of tried, and then people didn't like it with Black and White.
And
I
then
will
they put their foot down, and that's fine.
Yep. I will say one of the obstacles to that idea is that Pokemon has had the same base mechanics since the beginning.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, yeah, there's been distinct changes throughout the years, but like it's still the same base gameplay. Whereas with Digimon, that's not true at all.
Every game's a little
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. I will say that ever since Digimon World DS, there have been sort of mainline RPG Digimon games that
Yeah,
have
those
had,
are the Digimon story titles.
yeah. Um, but like before that, man, Digimon was a wild west of gameplay.
It was like every Digimon game had different gameplay to it.
Yeah, and I don't hate that, but also I can see why some people wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
The only Pokemon game that ever shook it up to a major extent was Arceus. Legends.
Yeah, and even then it was, you know, a comparable system.
Yeah.
hmm
It still kept a lot of the same
Yeah, it was
pieces
just
to it.
now we can die.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now there's like special styles in battle.
Yep.
That was weird,
And
but
like
cool.
spin-offs have done weird battle systems in Pokemon though, you know, there's
Yeah.
Conquest and the Mystery Dungeon
I would
games.
okay. I would say that technically Legends is a spin-off, but the same thing goes for Coliseum and XD,
Right.
and those also sort of not really change
I
things.
feel like there needs to be almost like a halfway between mainline and spin-off for,
Yeah,
I mean,
you know,
pseudo
according
Coliseum
mainline.
XD and Legends.
according
And
to
let's
Game
go.
Freak,
And let's go.
Legends is mainline.
I don't care what Game Freak says; it's not mainline.
They
Basically,
create the
just call it
game,
a
Camleon. You can't argue with God.
I don't care. I don't believe in God.
I know, and you don't want your own headcanon about
Listen,
Giratina broken,
To
so
be
you don't finish
fair,
Legends.
God is outmoded in the meta now.
Wasn't that happen when Mega Rayquaza became a thing?
Rayquaza, and yes. Although, to be fair, like Arceus has never been like the
Good.
strongest Pokemon. It
No.
only has the highest stats.
That said, like Arceus has always been when, you know, from when it showed up originally, it's always been a mainstay of Ubers.
Ubers, yeah.
Um,
Without any of its plates, usually.
yeah, and like different plates have different uses in Ubers, which is
Yeah.
really interesting to me.
Did they ever give it its special plate in Smogon? In Showdown, rather?
I don't know.
The
I don't
plate that changes its type no matter what?
I haven't been on Showdown in ages.
Yeah, and like I mostly don't pay attention to, you know, meta stuff anyway, and especially not Ubers. So
I don't like Showdown. I mean, I can't say I don't like Showdown. I don't like Smogon.
Eh. Smogon, I treat neutrally. Ooh, shiny ass elf. Why is that
I mean,
shiny
I
ass
don't
elf in the terrace ball?
see like in the SV thing, yeah, strategy decks. I don't see the plate, so
Okay.
I have a shiny stuff one.
Shiny Blacephalon's
like
awesome.
It's like violently blue.
I'm 90% sure it's just the colors are inverted from original Blacephalon. And
It doesn't look inverted. It's just violently dark blue.
it's my favorite Ultra Beast shiny.
I like Poiple.
I like Poiple. Poiple's cute. Naganadal's cute.
Yes. But yeah, like just violently blue.
Yeah, I
It
love that.
is.
I don't know what it
I
is. I
dig
just love that. I prefer
God,
that over its base.
I'm reminded of when I was working on a fake Dex project and I needed ideas for Ultra Beasts. And then Giga reminded me that Ultra Beasts tend to be based on invasive species. And I'm just like, yes, because clowns are an invasive species.
What the fuck is Blacephalon based off of?
Dandelion.
Oh,
That makes sense.
Man,
it does.
seeing Iron Bolts there, or whatever the hell it's called, just reminds me that I called it shiny Goku colored.
Okay. One is called Raging Bolt.
Giraffe
I'm
Raikou.
new to this, all right?
And two,
He's
that
trying.
was the shiny version that you said that about.
I know. I literally said that.
Okay, you said shiny Goku, and I was like, shiny Goku?
I said the shiny version of Raging Bolts, because I got the name wrong, was Goku colored.
Okay, yeah, you did say that, but when you were saying it just now, you said there was shiny Goku colors.
Yeah, you did say that.
Oh no. God damn it, brain.
Usually I'm the one stumbling over the words.
No, this happens a lot more with me than you'd think.
It does.
Sometimes your brain goes faster than your mouth can keep up. It happens.
Yeah.
Welcome to ADHD, everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I find weird? Going back to
What?
what could be announced next week. It's the perfect time to announce to have the original dragon be revealed.
It would be, yeah.
We're in the year of the dragon.
Yeah.
Black and white is being teased, more than teased. Univa's all but
Yeah,
Southern
we are
Univa
getting-
base is all but confirmed,
Yeah, we are getting hard Univa hints.
and that's not even leaks or Twitter. That's like from the last DLC.
Yeah.
What about terrestrial form Mega Rayquaza?
God.
God.
Oh, good lord.
Okay,
Nate, you got it wrong. It's not Charizard. They're not going to keep stacking things on
Oh,
it.
that's Rayquaza's like I was just saying that because of Mega Rayquaza already being absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I think if they ever bring together all those mechanics, it's going to be like you can only do either Mega or Terrastal or Dynamax.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just saying that as like a special thing for Rayquaza because you know.
Fucking
Stellar
you can
form.
combine all
Mega
three on
Rayquaza.
Rayquaza, and it has a BST of 2,000.
I don't think that's possible quite.
What's
What
255?
is
Eternamax Eternatus says hi.
Ha!
Yeah, that's 1100.
That's 1125, actually.
What
Point
is
still stands.
255 times 6?
255 times 6 is
1530?
Wow.
1530. So that would be the high. Yeah, just give it a BST of 1530 and be
Oh
done
Yeah.
with it.
Oh my
God.
god.
That would be insane.
Then somehow they'll break the rules for Charizard again.
Yeah.
Charizard's.
Hey guys, it took us 30 years, but we finally increased the stat cap. I have this other Charizard.
It's Mega Charizard Z Dynamax form with Stellar Terra type with a special Z move.
Mega
just-
Charizard
just-
Z?
Yeah,
No, because we have XY.
you know.
Mega Charizard S.
No, that's different. That's a special Charizard.
No, but I could actually honestly see them doing stellar form Charizard in past and future.
Yeah.
Like
Oh lord.
that I wouldn't agree with it, but like
It was a
something I
minor.
can see them doing.
It was a minor miracle we didn't get a Paradox Charizard.
It is
Our
actually.
our first Terra raid event I think was Charizard.
It was.
Yeah.
Also, if your hypothetical ends up being true and they do release more Paradox Pokemon this gen, we could still get it.
Oh god, I didn't realize.
Honestly,
what
I think that
Pandora's
they're-
box I opened.
Okay. When it comes to like predictions, I think we might be getting another DLC
I would like that.
because as it stands, Walking Wake and Iron Leaves are still only event only.
See, the only problem with that, as much as I would love it, I'm not going to lie. I would love another DLC set. The Mochi Madness was titled the Epilogue.
Of the hidden treasure of Area Zero.
Even though it's pretty much the epilogue of the entire game at this point.
Yeah.
Yes, but it was the epilogue to that specific 2-part DLC. It doesn't mean that we can't have another DLC.
I would love another DLC, honestly, because like it would be a great way to introduce the rest of the Pokemon, like literally the rest, because there's only 200 missing now, barely.
Yeah, something like that. That said, I don't think that they want to get all the Pokemon in one game.
No, they
As
don't want to
much
do that.
as it pains me that Absol is not in Area Zero.
Or on the mountain. On the ice mountain would have been a good place for it too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I can't. I'm not going to
Just
say.
Creator in general.
Like I'm not going to say I know what's coming. Like all I know it's Unova, something Unova based, and I don't know what.
Unova DLC.
I mean, we did have a Unova DLC.
Yeah, we already
Yeah,
did.
we did actually.
That was Blueberry Academy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mhm.
shows how far out of the loop with Pokemon I've been.
It's fine.
So like
You can be forgiven for not remembering or knowing that Blueberry Academy is in Unova because it's a dome underneath the ocean off the coast of Unova.
Yep. And they didn't really draw attention to it in advertising material.
Yeah.
No, just when you got there, it was just hammered over your head. It was it's Unova because
Right.
this is Clay's daughter.
You know-
This is Drayden's son or grandson.
Grandson.
Oh, what was that one? The normal type gym leader, not Karen, but the one in the library.
Lenora.
Lenora, that was her daughter. Then
Was
you had, I don't know if it was just a fourth brother to the Cooks or the son of the Fire one.
Oh, I don't think that Crispin is related to the Striaton leaders at all.
Yeah, he's.
Maybe he's related to Seabold.
Who?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I don't think that Crispin was intended to draw comparisons to the Striaton gym leaders.
It really did, though. He looked just like one of them.
I think he's too young, though.
True. It could just be like a little brother, maybe.
Yeah, that
Could be.
like he does have a family resemblance to them, even outside of the whole cooking thing.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's just art
Okay.
style. So
I guess.
And I hit all 4. Did I hit all 4 of the Elite 4 of Blueberry Academy?
Yep.
Okay. You know who the Riddler is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to go off any of his new stuff because it's when Koo posts, Koo wilds out. And he's been posting some
Right.
weird shit. Like his latest one that's quote unquote Riddle was a chibi version of Blue Eyes White Dragon and Red Eyes Black Dragon. And that's kind of what set people off thinking, oh, it's going to be chibi Black and White remakes. But go back to when the second DLC launched, I forget his name, the dragon trainer in the Blueberry Academy.
Drayton.
Is his name really Drayden?
No, Drayton. Or
Drayton. Okay.
Drayton, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Koo did outright say he's going to have a very important role in whatever's coming next. And that's what kind of led people down a weird path because Koo just drops one hint. And it's just people, he lets people go nuts with it. And when he does a.
Ryuki?
Huh?
You guys remember Ryuki?
Yeah.
I do.
Never went
That was
anywhere
a
with
weird
that.
plot thread that went zero. Like
was
that
the-
went nowhere.
He was the most red herring character Pokemon's ever created. Oh, he's going to
I'm
be
sorry, I
a
interrupted.
champion. He's going to be an Elite Four. He's something.
No, listen. I think his existence was just to hint that the next generation was Great Britain, because rock and roll, basically.
Mhm.
But it went nowhere, and it's like, I'm sorry I interrupted, but I just remembered him.
Yeah, no, it's like speaking of characters that are so spectacular and stand out, and then they're just a big nothing burger.
Yeah.
Ryuki was really fun in Adventures. Like he was mostly just kind of a side character, but like he was just fun.
I just realized something else that they hinted at. The presence of red and blue at the battle tree, I think, was just a reference to, Kanto's coming again, and you don't play as these guys because they're too old now.
Yeah, here's red and green, or red and blue rather, in their 30s. Enjoy.
I don't think they were in their 30s, maybe like young 20s.
I would say late 20s because red's hairline.
I mean, I don't think that's really something to go by in the Pokemon universe.
Can we just admit, like, I appreciate Pikachu's still alive after all this? His Pikachu's still alive after at least 20 years.
Also, like, I'm going to be honest here. I'm shocked Red still has a hairline, given how long he's been wearing that hat.
True, big true. And that's why I don't wear hats.
I don't wear hats because they tickle.
I have a giant head, so it's hard to find a hat that fits.
It's just constantly goosebumps, you know,
Mm-hmm.
if I try to wear hats.
The only hat that I have that ever fit me right is a nice Panama hat. And you wear that out, you don't, you get weird looks because it's a style of hat that's not really seen that often. It looks like I own a tobacco plantation. Just gotta get a bolo tie for it.
Yeah.
I actually do have a bolo tie.
Ooh, hello, shiny Corviknight. I do not have you yet.
No, it's like I'm trying to figure out what could be coming for weeks now, and it's just like Ku's wild and too much to be trustworthy, and it's just like it's just something Unova. But now they're teasing. Now he's been teasing Johto too for some reason, and nothing makes sense.
I mean,
people are suspecting Johto too for reasons.
Let's go Johto, yeah. Which like abandon the catching style, and I'll be all for that. So I did like the style. Keep the shiny mechanics too.
Yeah, I don't think that the Let's Go games were bad. I think that nobody asked for them, but I don't think they were bad.
It also came at the time where people were just sick of Kanto.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still sick of Kanto. But, like, if you gave Kanto a proper... it didn't really have... There's no lore to Kanto.
Right.
For this.
That's what I hate. It's like we have Mewtwo, but that's not a lore thing. It's just like something that just Team Rocket did because...
And it doesn't even need to have a plot. Just give it,
history.
Background lore, put some geographical interest into Kanto.
I have the perfect image for this.
Yes. It's like Johto got all the history and Kanto got nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, geographical interest in Kanto, just a couple different things that look neat. And throw some interesting characters around that either follow you around or show up just more than once.
I agree.
And
give it its own proper.
Yeah.
I also think it needs its own proper.
Give Kanto its own Yucine.
Maybe not quite as
annoying
because a character like Yucine needs like a plot behind him because of the way he works.
I think that actually ties into what I'm going to say next. Kanto needs its own proper legendary. You can't count the birds or Mewtwo as Kanto's legendary because those are everywhere.
And Mew is not native.
No, we don't even know what region Mew's from because South America region doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
with one thing that isn't talked about very often is that there is actually a sort of theme to Kanto, and that is technological progress.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's why you have Pokemon like Magnemite and Grimer. They're to represent technological progression.
Porygon,
Ditto ties into that. Porygon. Um,
coughing and
Quickly.
wheezing.
Is this shiny?
uh,
I have
I
no
cannot
idea.
tell.
I've never seen a shiny
I
Mr.
want to
Mime.
say yes.
Give me a second. I'm gonna
Okay.
Google it real quick for you.
Let's see. That looks shiny to me.
Okay. I'll keep that one in mind as I keep scrolling.
Yeah, I think it's his pants that are different, or something.
It's like desaturated, I think.
Yeah, I'm on Sarah.
Yeah, it's desaturation.
Yes, it is. That is shiny. He has black pants.
Yep.
He's a dapper gentleman. I don't like Mr. Rhyme, and I don't like
But yeah,
Mr. Mime either.
yeah. But yeah, I think it would be interesting if they doubled down on the idea of technological progression for a Kanto thing.
So a cybernetic legendary?
Can we just get
Maybe
armored
not
beast already?
cybernetic. Maybe something representing the idea of, people, trying to
Play God.
technologically progress. Something. I mean, it would end up being something along the lines of Yuxi, in terms of theming. But I think it'd be different enough.
Either that or was the mistake that the whole bit with Mewtwo was a background detail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just like
Mewtwo in the
focus
front.
on that. That would be.
Ha!
Yeah, I was about to make that joke.
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Because the Savarite Dex is, in fact, a nature versus technology story.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Oop, jeez, that was a. Did
I was
anyone
gonna
else hear that?
bring. Sorry.
Did anyone else hear that?
No.
No.
Okay, that
Huh?
might be my headphones then.
You okay?
Yeah. It's a sudden static noise.
And yeah, I was gonna bring this up earlier, but it kind of speaks a little bit to how little like background information Kanto has. The background information we got for those two regions in Heart Gold and Soul Silver wasn't even really for Kanto.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
I get it's because it's Gen 4 and Sinnoh is a thing, but yeah.
Despite being the most
Yeah,
revisited region, despite it being Game Freak's poster boy, just like Charizard, Kanto is so underdeveloped.
It is. And even with what we have, there are opportunities to make it interesting.
Uh-huh.
But they just don't. Oh my god, go Persona on it. Just that type of RPG with Kanto. That would work so well because Kanto is Tokyo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
God, are we gonna get another game that just has Shibuya in it?
yeah, I could see that happening.
Because that's like Persona, 2E, Cyber Sleuth.
Yeah.
That would be, honestly, hold up. A full city region would be really cool.
Oh, that would be cool, actually.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Like, you go to different districts instead of different cities and towns.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And the
Okay,
Pokemon are
that's
all...
actually cool. Oh, wait.
What?
Wait, this is just Pokemon Reborn.
Yeah, but less edgy.
Yes. And also, you do leave the city in Reborn.
Yeah,
It's
I
just it
remember
mostly
like
takes
going to
place-
an island in that game.
Yeah.
But
It
like,
just mostly takes place in Reborn City.
that would be
Not a city, but an entire region.
Yes.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
unironically, that would be
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. And like you could have wild Pokemon be like adaptations that adapted to survive in an urban setting.
Or you could even do this with like an actual. You could do this with some sort of like Unova thing, yeah, because God, Central Park is huge.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
People don't realize it's a jungle. Like it's a jungle inside New York City.
Yeah, like that could be the forest area.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You got a waterfront. You got. This is a
Yep.
good idea.
And I'm gonna like toot my own horn for an alternative here. What if like we finally get a region based around Canada and it's just
I
a
would
huge
love it.
city region set in what would be Toronto, because then you'd be able to go explore the huge ass ravines and shit.
That would be
So
awesome.
the only problem with the idea of New York City is Unova is already New York City.
Yeah.
No, fuck New York City.
Just like
no, just give us
a
like
couple
give us San
hundred years
Francisco.
in the future, and Castelia has just completely dominated the region.
God.
Yeah, like it could be like, okay, I hate to bring Star Wars in for an example, but it's kind of perfect of an example, like how Coruscant is.
Oh gosh.
I know what this is gonna be.
It's Coruscant. No, it's an entire planet
Yeah.
that's a city. Like, this is a cool idea for Pokemon. It would be
And then
so different.
Yeah. And that gave me the idea of going less into Coruscant. What about Ner Shaddaa?
Oh,
That
would
wouldn't
be
happen.
fun.
That wouldn't happen, but it would be crazy. Because for context, in Star Wars, Ner Shaddaa is another city, Ecumenopolis.
Mhm.
Except that, like, even the top levels are just absolutely crime-ridden,
Yeah,
like
it's
Ner Shaddaa is, unlike Coruscant, it's a moon.
Yep.
And the thing with Ner Shaddaa is it's basically Las Vegas on steroids.
yes. But like,
Completely run by the Hutts.
I interrupt the Star Wars talk to point out that Staryu has a weirdly cool shiny.
it does.
It does.
Yeah, that's
Also, I'm going to go to the bathroom really quick.
Okay.
Okay.
And unfortunately, when it evolves into Starmie, it's shit.
I just didn't realize that Staryu's shiny looked that cool.
Yeah, it's white. It's one of the really good shinies.
Yeah.
And it's the core is blue.
Yeah. Wait, that's just Shifesto.
yeah. I'm gonna hold on.
I was like, wait a minute, it's white, gold, and blue. It is just Shifesto.
Honestly, no. The more I think about it, an entire city-based region that would be so different for Pokemon.
Hey, I'm gonna get an image for you so that you know what Dark and I are talking about.
Okay. Like you could have, like, remember how in Black and White 2 you go into the sewers?
It is just Shifesto.
It is.
But yes, I do remember the sewer.
Like you could have like an entire underground part of the city where it's like, I don't want to say full on crime ridden like how the underbelly of Coruscant is, but like have like an undercity where like some of the shady shit happens in the Pokemon games.
So Arcane.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it'll literally just be Piltover and Zon.
Yeah. So that's referencing. I think it's a Netflix original. That basically is just League of Legends lore, and that's basically exactly what you're describing.
Okay.
I'm back.
Welcome
I'm
back.
back.
Yeah, like the easiest way to explain it is Piltover is very much what we like, the sort of background we ascribe to Kanto: technological progress and magic all over the place.
I kind of like the idea.
But underneath, in the chasm that houses the river that sort of like feeds Piltover, is the undercity called Zon, which is where all the downtrodden are born and kept by the ruling elite of Piltover. There's this whole pseudo rivalry hatred between them.
Smiles.
I explained that terribly.
But... No, I'm just smiling and nodding. It's like it's been a long time since I played League of Legends, and I didn't realize it had such a lore to it.
It does.
It's because in the beginning it didn't. A lot of this is new.
That's probably why
I I don't play League, but I know that like several of the characters that were in Arcane are in League, including Jinx, and I think her name was Vi, and who else? There were a
Jinx,
lot of
Vi, Victor.
The fuzzy guy is in League 2. And a little fuzzy professor guy.
yeah.
Heimerdinger.
Yeah, there we go.
Was Blitzcrank in the show?
Jace. No.
Oh, I like Blitzcrank.
Jinx, Vi, Victor, Jace.
Right.
What was that kid's
Technically,
name? What was the kid's name?
Echo.
Okay, yeah, Echo.
Echo's there too, and technically, if you ascribe to the rumors, Vander is technically in League.
Caitlyn.
Yep.
I went to the League of Legends wiki, so there's not just like a quick list of this character is also in the game, so
Singed, I believe Singed is.
Yep.
Albeit as his young self.
I feel like reading right now, so
I guess what we're saying is we should all watch Arcane with Phoenix at some point.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
I didn't finish watching Lucifer with you.
Yeah.
We're still in season 1.
I'm sorry, I can only take so much TV at a time.
At some point, I think a lot of the people here would enjoy an anime that's on Netflix right now called Dungeon Meshi or Delicious in Dungeon.
I've heard of that.
I think I've seen screenshots of that.
So the author of the manga is an ecology nerd and like a major ecology nerd. So like everything ties into like the ecosystem and all of that, and there's so much thought put into it,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that type of thing would just very much appeal to
our brand of
several
nerd
people here. Yeah, exactly.
To steer us back to Pokemon, can I ask a question? And I'm still going on this
all
whole
those fucking Charmanders and Charizards.
Why two different shiny Charizards? Oh, never mind. I think I know why.
One of them is Blitz, and one of them is actually in my living decks.
Oh, okay. I was thinking because of different Mega Evolutions.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, what's your question, Phoenix?
A whole city-wide region, like a region city. What would the legendary of that kind of shit be? Like my brain goes kaiju, but that's because I'm in a mindset of kaiju right now.
Kaiju would be fun though.
Or would it be like something ancient?
Give us another Godzilla Pokemon, as if we don't already have 5.
I'm okay with my Godzilla Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always okay with
more.
Mostly
a joke.
I'm not joking. I'm okay with more Godzilla Pokemon.
Okay.
Give us a bit.
Well, we need more kaiju. It's time to bring back Dynamax.
Oh no.
Dynamax wasn't bad. It's just that Mega Evolution did the same job.
It's one of those awkward things too, where like as far as I know, technically Dynamax was more balanced from a metagame perspective, but just it's also less interesting.
Yeah. I think this is
also one of the Caspri's other mods just DM'd me a picture of an Absol.
Since we brought up Dynamax, we've been talking about Mega Evolution. I think this is a good point to talk about something that I'm curious about. This time next year, we're going to be getting ready for Gen 10, which is insane. We're finally getting to the Gen X Pokemon.
Okay.
Generation Boomer next.
What do you think the gimmick's going to be? Like,
I don't know.
I think that's like
So
not the
there's an
wedge.
interesting thing. There's
Okay.
an interesting thing with the last few gimmicks. Not counting Z moves,
Oh, I know where this is going.
we had Mega Evolution,
Mm-hmm.
Gigantamax, and Terrestrialization.
Mega
Is the
Giga
next
Terra.
one Peta?
It will be.
Is it?
Unless they do another
Okay.
Z move kind
The
of
funny
thing.
thing is, the next one, like I know what this gimmick is, and the next unit up is PETA, which
Yeah.
is hilarious to me for reasons involving something obvious.
Yeah.
Oh, they'd be seething.
Yeah.
It has to happen now.
As if seething isn't PETA's default state.
That's true.
That's
But it would be
Yeah.
extra seething because it's like they would be like, oh, you're whatever PETA evolution is, or what. I'm just using whatever.
Yeah.
We're suing you, Pokemon. It's like, okay, good luck.
They can't sue because it's literally a unit of measurement.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a standard international unit of measuring data.
Now the question is, it will probably be something PETA related, but what?
Yeah.
That's the big question. It's like I've never been good at coming
So-
up with these kind of crazy ideas of what a gimmick could be.
Okay. So we've had temporary evolutions.
Mm-hmm.
We've had finishing moves.
Mm-hmm.
We've had raid bosses,
And
which
big.
is basically what Dynamax was. It was testing out the raid boss thing.
And it was a
and
way to
we've
combine the
had-
past two things as well. Z moves and Mega.
Yeah.
Oh, that too. And we've had type or strategic type changes.
Mm-hmm.
What else can we potentially do?
Uh,
We haven't touched into held items all that much, except for where it's required to use the mechanic. We
Mhm.
haven't touched abilities that much, except for in Mega Evolutions.
Honestly, it's like I know this was a rumor for Sword and Shield and it only affected 2 Pokemon in that generation, but Pokemon Armor would still be a cool idea.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I'm
Ooh.
jumping on that because that is a cool ass shiny.
Like,
Actually, I do like the idea of armor.
mhm.
Maybe because of Digimon.
Yeah, and also, can we just get Armored Mewtwo already?
That's kind of why I
Yeah,
brought
that'd
it
be
up.
great.
I want Armored Mewtwo. Finally.
Also, Insurgents did it.
I know.
Also,
and they did
Armored
Insurgents.
Charizard
Okay,
first, and you'll like it.
listen, guys, listen. Insurgents did it, and you know what else Insurgents did?
Hmm.
Regional variants.
Oh shit, you're right. It did Delta Pokemon,
Yeah,
Delta Pokemon existed in TCG.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Insurgents did it
But-
better. Insurgents expanded on what it
Insurgents
could be.
turned them. Insurgents. Okay, Delta Pokemon in the TCG were just superficial type changes.
Yes.
Insurgents changed the type and the design.
Yes. Which was
They were regional variants,
yes.
and then we got Gen 7.
And if you're thinking Pokemon doesn't steal from fan games, you're full of shit. They do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they're legally obligated to say that they don't,
Mhm.
and they're legally obligated to also say they don't pay attention to fan game
Or fan
because
designs.
they don't want they don't want the headache that is quote unquote accidentally using fan content
Mhm.
and having to credit or whatever. But you know who's on the Pokemon team now? The guy who made an Earthbound hack.
Right.
Toby Fox.
I know,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah,
just
I know.
thinking he's only doing music. For
Yes, but my point is they have my point is that they have someone on the team who definitely pays attention to fan content
it? Oh, okay.
of the fandoms that he is in.
And does fucking good job at making music for the game.
Yes, but I'm not saying that he would give them fan ideas. I'm saying that if you believe that the Pokemon team doesn't pay attention or look at fan designed content, then you're an idiot.
The only time they didn't look at fan design content was for Mega Flygon, those fucking idiots.
Okay, I wouldn't
That-
call them idiots for that.
No, what happened is Sugimori was trying to come up with it, and everything he did, he just didn't like.
Yeah.
Um, and I understand that.
Hmm.
You know, I would love to see. I hope. I mean, I don't know if this would have to happen after he goes away, but I hope someday his sketchbooks get published. 'Cause I would love to see.
I am fairly certain that he is legally required to keep them hidden.
Oh, I would
I
love
think
to
that
see
he's
how his
under an
mind works.
NDA on those.
I would love to see how his mind works.
Yeah.
But like that story kind of reminds me of in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, there is one part where um, the author had a plan to have one character betray the main characters. But at the time he was writing that story, he was going through serious mental health issues, and he couldn't stand the idea of having to write that. So he just had that character leave the group instead of trying to write that character betraying them.
That's
You know,
understandable.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's understandable.
and I kind of compare that a bit to the whole Mega Flygon thing with Sugimori.
Right.
I would love to pick Sugimori's brain. Just like his thought
Yeah.
process of creating an original Pokemon from scratch.
Hmm.
So pay to armor.
Quickly, is there any reason for a Gimmighoul to be level 75 if it's not from that event raid where it could be shiny? Because
I have no
unfortunately,
idea.
I cannot tell if this thing is shiny, and I know that's the only way to get a shiny
Post a
Gimmighoul.
picture. I might be able to tell.
Posted. I can't make it bigger than that, or
Okay.
I can. Hang on.
Oh, no, I can
It's
just
gonna be
zoom in.
sideways, but I can.
That might be shiny because shiny Gimmighoul, I think its body's like a more white color.
I think I see white. I think I see white.
I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to like screw you over with this. Let me. Gimme.
All I'm really trading is an Iron Crown. Yeah, that's white. I just zoomed in. That's white. That is shiny.
Okay, yeah, Gimmighoul shiny.
I'm not
is
gonna.
white.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that this is like a holy grail or anything, but like that's a very difficult shiny to get legitimately, and I know that level 75s are like 5-star rates.
Yes. And shiny Gimmighoul is whitish. Good luck seeing
Yeah.
it in raid because filters.
Yes, that is shiny. Let me get this trade over with. I just saw the larger model mid trade. Let me get the trade over with, and I can actually check the summary.
You know, out of all my friend group, besides, like, this would be like the second person I know to have a shiny Gimmighoul. Like, it was that rare.
It's shiny.
Now you have to
Shiny
get a
Terra
second.
Dragon.
Now you have to get a second one.
I do.
And
But it is shiny.
shiny Gimmighoul doesn't have any difference. So Golden Go rather.
Yeah, it does. The lines on it are green.
Oh shit! Yeah, it is. Oh my god, I never realized that. That's stupid. That's fucking stupid.
You know what? I actually have to get a third one because I need to also put it in the forums section along with roaming.
Yeah, you need to get a roaming one.
You've got an adventure ahead of you then.
Yeah.
You know, they could have. They had the opportunity to make a shiny Golden Gold be silver.
Yeah.
Like its whole body could have been just silver
But I
coins.
feel like I know why they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because it is such a difficult shiny to get that, like, it's better for it to be subtle.
Honestly, it's a frustrating shiny.
Yeah.
How about we
Yeah,
take
I need to
away
make it
the-
that difficult.
1 of 3 shiny Gimmighoul.
How about Game
so I
Freak
have
stop shiny locking things for future generations and future games?
That would.
I understand why they shiny lock.
Why
Like
did they shiny lock it?
especially, I don't know. But like I understand why they shiny lock, especially when it comes to legendaries that are heavily involved in cutscenes
Okay, that
Oh,
I will
yeah.
understand. Gimme
and
had no reason.
starters that are heavily involved in cutscenes. The last time that they didn't like shiny lock the actual starter was Gen 7, and that shit takes 8 minutes to soft reset on.
Mm-hmm. Now imagine soft resetting, not for a shiny, but for a female. Oh, what the fuck is it?
Yeah.
Stupid seal. I mean, just
Poplio.
Poplio, yeah. I mean, soft resetting for a female period because it'd be better to have a female starter so you can just start breeding them quickly.
You okay? I asked this because that was very specific. Do you want me to get you a shiny female Poplio? Because I can do that.
Nods.
So that was a yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'll work on that at some point. Because like I can do that, and I'll give you a screenshot that basically summarizes my feelings on this.
Oh, that poor Solanda. Are they all male?
They're all female.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's impressive. Now,
So yeah, I have a lot of extra shinies. If anyone wants any,
Shiny Magnezone.
I can do that.
That one's probably not even terribly difficult at all.
No.
I've never really actually invested the effort to look for shinies, so I don't
I
know
will
how
say-
hard some are.
I will say, don't ask for anything later than Gen 7.
Okay, fair.
Also,
Yeah, but,
probably your luck, Dark, the shinies will probably end up finding you.
Yeah.
Start playing
What do you mean?
Violet.
My luck is awful in most games.
oh no, just I mean, like within 5 minutes of playing together when Scarlet and Violet dropped, Giga found a shiny within 5 minutes of us playing.
Giga has this weird trend of finding a day one shiny
Mm-hmm.
every time something new comes to Gen 9.
That's true.
Surprisingly, it didn't happen with the epilogue.
Well,
So I have an idea. Does anyone have any crack theories on what we might get? Just nothing realistic, just something stupid that you would like to see for Pokemon
Are we
And
talking about
that
Gen
they
10
might
or
announce.
next week? Oh, are we talking about next week?
Next week. Just next week.
and
Just N in something.
Colress.
Go
That
becoming
would be
good.
too.
Something that will probably never happen because Game Freak doesn't do this, but is relatively mundane by comparison. Both routes to the Pokemon League being open in Unova at the same time.
Like
That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea for a game that I don't think they do, but would be really cool.
Go on.
So a new Pokemon pinball game that is free to play, except by default it only comes with like one set of boards, and the boards would be based on different games. So like probably a red and blue board, and there could be in-app purchases for boards based on other games.
That's actually
Like
a smart idea.
$5 to $15 for a set of boards. I think that would be cool
Yeah.
And I do like
because
pinball.
Pokemon pinball is fun.
When you brought
Yeah.
this up, I was not expecting you to go that route.
Yeah, I think that could work, especially in the current free to play. You know,
Give us an actual Pokemon MMO.
yeah.
With all the
Failing that,
regions in
something
it?
that they'll-
Maybe.
Failing that, you know what we need back? The Game Corner and the Safari Zone.
Yes, please.
They can't do the game corner.
They sort of did, but they neutered it.
It
Really
doesn't
quickly.
have to be based on gambling anymore. It can just, Like
Be
there
an
are ways
arcade.
to make
Yeah,
a
an
game
arcade.
corner work. It's just that they're so terrified of
The
Europe.
the thing with
Europe.
the thing with the Safari Zone, the thing with the Safari Zone is that they realized it wasn't actually fun.
No, it's not. But it was cool. The music was always good in the Safari Zones.
Oh, and Safari Zone on top.
Mm-hmm. 100%
Yeah.
with that one.
Oh, I can't tell if this is shiny.
Trickmaster. Just I, I want maybe an entire game that's like the Trickmaster puzzles. That would be
Oh,
fun.
that would be fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, is this shiny?
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, hold on, zoom in. I think so. Yeah, those are black.
Okay. If it's not, it's just a Miraidon, but like,
How do you have so many of all these Pokemon?
see 2 screenshots up.
Oh, all
Literally,
of those Pokemon.
all I've been doing is trading difficult or coveted shinies for things like Iron Crown, Raging Bolt, Ogerpon, Terapagos, etc., and then trading those for shinies.
And that's how you got so many shiny Poiple?
No, that was Gen 7.
Oh.
It was in fact shiny. Cool.
Yeah, it's like I was 100% sure with the olives, but also it also has a white face.
Okay. My vision isn't great, so I needed a second opinion.
That's understandable. I've been trying to think of if I could have my dream Pokemon game, what would it be? And like my brain's going in two different directions
it
because I would love
doesn't have
a.
to be a dream Pokemon game. Just anything that you think would be cool.
See, my mind is going in two
Something
different
wild.
directions now because it's like since you
Both
brought
of,
up
say both of
pinball,
them.
I'm thinking spin-offs now, or not even
Yeah,
spin-off,
exactly.
whatever.
That's what I mean, though.
Imagine a Pokemon mystery dungeon, but it plays like Diablo.
I'd rather
Yeah.
keep you.
Um,
Okay, if I have to describe a dream Pokemon game, it would be a Mystery Dungeon game, and it. I know that I prefer like Pokemon with the Dexit thing, but also like PMD with all the Pokemon as options. That's basically PMD Super, but a modern gen. And also not with the basic attack nerfed to shit.
Another PMD idea is kind of do what Digimon World 2 did with the Mystery Dungeon idea, where the battles don't take place on the map, but just bring you into an RPG battle when you touch a touch an enemy.
Okay, I like that.
And by RPG battle, I don't mean like
Oh,
what
great
Pokemon normally
Buddha.
does, but a 3v3 battle.
Like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that.
Another good shout, like from my end here, would be a proper Pokemon fighting game that isn't a weird port.
No, so no
I
Tekken
mean,
clone.
That would be fun.
Pokemon isn't bad though.
No, I like its graphics.
Also, to that dark, I will just link you something.
I think I know what would be
There
make the
is
coolest
a
Pokemon.
fan-made Pokemon fighting game that is made by fighting game nerds. So
Okay, so there is also something that I've been thinking of, and this isn't entirely like my thinking because I got some ideas from Nate just talking about relevant things.
Hmm.
But it would be called Pokemon Hub, and it would basically be, hey, you want to connect to home? Sure. You want to battle? Sure. You want to
Yep.
trade? Sure. It's basically just an official showdown mixed with home,
I
mixed with
like
the
that.
GTS.
I mean, that's
And
what
you would be
home was
able to do it
supposed to
both.
be.
be able to do it both on mobile and Switch,
Yeah.
and they're not drastically different things like home is, because I hate that.
Yeah, I don't like mobile home.
Like,
I like mobile home, but I don't like that it's completely different from Switch home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could do all the trading stuff on the Switch as well
Yeah.
as my phone. I don't like how
And I
has
wish that I could sort. I wish that I could sort the Pokemon on mobile.
Mm-hmm. I have one more. My other path for dream game.
I think Nate was trying to.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nate. Go ahead, Nate.
no, it's fine.
No, go ahead. You first.
I kind of forgot what I was saying earlier, but I do have another idea to come up with. But you do yours first because
It's kind of inspired by Pokemon Legends, but I wouldn't want it set in the past. I like the idea of an untamed region, an uncharted region, something like you are the first humans settling into this region, and you have to tame it
Yeah.
or adapt with it.
Pokemon City Builder.
I would say yes, have like some kind of building element in it. Not like Minecraft or Ark, nothing like that, but like where like you could put building here, and like get resources to build the buildings. Like, but like I don't think you would have to make it into like a full region, but like have like outposts and settlements and does this make sense? What I'm saying?
it does.
Like I would just an unnamed region. Like it doesn't have a name. It has no starters. It's a raw, just wilderness.
That would be fun.
There's also the idea that I've had for a few years now that I kind of want to make into a fan game, but also I kind of also want to just make it a game that's similar, but not Pokemon attached. And that's basically crossing PMD with Stardew Valley.
Yes.
Yeah, that would
be awesome.
Genuinely be really fun.
Creature collection farming sim.
Mm-hmm. And if you keep the roster small, that wouldn't even be a huge, like,
less than not even just 100 Pokemon. It would work.
It's just the issue is, do we go the Pokemon route for appeal, or do we go the original route for the profit?
I feel like an original one would just work,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like a small indie group that tried to do a Pokemon X Stardew, and it didn't work. But they abandoned the game. They just had a demo out, and that was it. And it was one of the more hyped Stardew clones, and it just was abandoned.
And the number 100 was said earlier, but I don't think you'd even need that many. You could get by with like 50.
Yeah, I think so.
Honestly, if we do it like with an original like bent instead of Pokemon, then I just wouldn't be opposed to releasing it with a few dozen creatures to collect and then just patching it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even need to do that,
Well,
as long as the base gameplay is solid.
Yeah, but I would want to keep adding to the roster.
True.
Yeah, like how Stardew
expands. Do that through DLC even.
Yeah.
Like how Stardew expands all the time.
Yeah. I would rather not do something as simple as roster expansion through a DLC.
Right, but you could theme roster expansions around some new mechanic,
Fair.
Now, would the monsters be the things you farm, or would they be like things that you capture to help on the farm?
Both.
Could be both, yeah.
It could be, yeah, because plants.
Because, like, I brought this up to Wim, I think, a long time ago, where, hey, wouldn't it be cool if, like, we could have the Protochroma creatures in a video game? And that was just, like, idle musing, not an actual suggestion.
Mm-hmm. So what I think you're saying is you're somehow going to squeak the Voidwalker into this farming game?
Probably. Wim is very aware. No, Wim is very aware that the Voidwalker is kind of a interesting case as far as protochromer creatures go, because she knew when I pitched it that it's a closed personal species, and she is perfectly okay with me using it in other projects. Like Dark and I were talking about a Manaverse game, which is basically just a Voidwalker platformer, and
Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
yeah, and I quickly ran it by Wim to make sure, hey, is this okay if we do this? And she was like, yes, it is okay, because she knows that the Voidwalker is a special case. So I can use it basically however I want. I went on a rant there.
That's fine. Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Go ahead.
Also, yes, I want to do that Voidwalker platformer. Like Nate suggested a 3D Spyro-esque platformer. I think it might be easier to do a 2D, but at the end of the day, as long as we can make the environment, I don't mind either way.
2D, going by what's popular right now, 2D is on like another resurgence.
But there's also new 3D platformers coming out.
That's true.
Um,
They're both having a resurgence.
There's a yo-yo one I forget the name of right now. It's coming out soon. I think of the name of it. Is it? Yeah, Penny's Big Breakaway. That's what it was.
Ah.
That was notable because it's being made by who was it that was making it? I forget. I'm just watching the trailer again because like it caught my eye because it was by a notable developer.
Ah.
But I forget who.
Yes, I want to make Voidwalker platformer.
Same.
You know, I had an idea for a game the other. It's been something that's been like popping into my head over the course of the week, and it came to me when I was playing Assassin's Creed last week. When you know how in the newer ones you have to, your eagle vision is you actually take control of a bird and fly around.
I wasn't aware of that, but
yeah, ever since Origins, everyone it's you take control of your pet bird, and it's cool.
Ah.
It's a really cool mechanic. But it came to my idea, like, I know this has been attempted, but it never worked. But could you imagine an RPG style game, not an RPG, not turn based RPG, but like a role playing game, like a Skyrim level role playing game, where you pick an animal and you just live your life as that's a great shiny. You live your life in the animal form, like you build a nest or you find a den, you try to get a mate, and the whole time the game is being narrated like it's a David Attenborough documentary.
That would be really funny.
And it's like it would have to be like peak graphics, like have the near realistic graphics, Unreal Engine 5 kind of shit. But like you could go up to like say you're an outsider wolf and you're trying to get in with you're trying to form a pack. You'd go up to the wolf, another wolf, to accept quote unquote a quest, and the whole time it's like David Attenborough explaining what's going on, and if this wolf accepts it, this is what could happen, and it's just like go hunt.
So it's niche with the narrator,
just with real animals, like you could pick from wolf, bird. Honestly, I didn't know what else was there.
I feel like what could be done with that concept is instead of having one game where you get to choose which animal you do, just make a different game for each animal and then go deep into, that
like,
animal's
like
stuff.
The whole idea was like with the bird originally. It's like, oh, you could go around collecting materials to make a nest, do like a special kind of rhythm game to attract a mate. Then the combat, defending your nest from other predators, and like have it have a story progress. It's like it would be cool. It's something different. and it's just like the whole narration. Like they have been done before, these kind of games, terribly, but they've never been done in the style of a documentary. It's like
I'll never get used to you pronouncing it that way.
you're going to have to get used to me pronouncing it that way because I can't pronounce it the other way.
Documentary.
Documentary. It doesn't roll. That's just how we say it here.
Mm.
Well, congratulations. How New Yorkers say it is wrong.
So
Taught us.
the thing with documentary is it sounds like a verb. That's what always. I think that's what throws us off.
No, it sounds like an adjective.
Yeah, that too.
It's how like everyone pronounces it where I'm from.
And as for how you pronounce nuclear, you were just misspelling it.
Nuclear.
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 Nuclear. Nuclear.
Nuclear.
Nuclear.
It's nuclear because it relates to the nucleus.
I don't know. It's like I know how it's spelled. I know how it's supposed to be pronounced. It's just like my brain doesn't want to pronounce it that way.
I have a meme.
Oh boy!
Of course, you have a meme for this. Don't worry. I don't pronounce the H in Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
And the funny thing is that there is a pronunciation of the WH that does sound like there's an H in there, but the people that pronounce the H in words like Cool Whip is like they're overcorrecting themselves.
Yeah.
Because originally that WH thing was a separate sound to the W sound.
Yeah.
It's just a voiceless instead of voiced. So originally it would have been something like whip. Like there's no H sound in there.
That's acceptable.
Mm-hmm. But of course, people hear that whip as whip, and then the H spreads.
The H spreads. Okay.
And technically, there's nothing really wrong with that because that's what language does. Language evolves.
Yeah. It's just funny, and I got reminded of that. Oops, fuck, my home froze.
All right, another Pokemon game idea is that I had a little bit ago. Imagine basically a Zoo Tycoon Pokemon game, except it's a Safari Zone.
Oh my god.
That would be a hit.
You build your own Safari Zone.
So a better version of whatever the fuck they tried to do in Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Yeah. Like an entire game based around that.
Yeah.
That would be honestly really cool.
It would.
Yeah.
Of all the stupid spin-offs we get, why aren't we getting cool spin-offs?
Huh. I mean, we get cool spin-offs.
Yeah. And we've always had stupid spin-offs. Like
Then we have underrated spin-offs like Pokemon Conquest.
Yes.
Yeah. But stupid spin-offs, I was thinking more like Pokemon Dash. Do you remember Pokemon Dash?
I never played it.
That was the first Pokemon game ever released on the DS, and it's one of the rarest Pokemon games in existence.
So Pokemon Dash was basically a tech demo for the DS.
Yeah.
Which means that it wasn't a game. Like, it was a Pokemon racing game where you control Pikachu. Just Pikachu. By
Pikachu.
Yeah. By just using the stylus on the DS touchscreen. And I think there were like maybe 5 tracks and the opportunity to do custom tracks that still weren't that great.
There was also 4 secret tracks that you could get access to by putting in the Game Boy Advance games.
Huh.
Right.
Yeah, so that was just pure tech demo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's basically, here is what the DS can do. And then it got sold as a game.
Mm-hmm. Pokemon Rumble was a weird spin-off too. It was fun, but it was weird.
Then there's the Troze, whatever.
Troze, yeah.
Yep.
The Troze line of games. The only one that I actually enjoyed was Shuffle.
Yeah. I mean, I remember liking the first one. I'm not very good at that type of puzzle game because, like, just it's too visually overwhelming for me.
Yeah, match 3 games. The only match 3 game I really vibed with was Bejeweled, and that's really it. That was just for the music. I'm hungry.
Are you hungry because of Bejeweled?
No, because my stomach just growled, and I saw my mic light up when it growled.
I think I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
fucking starving.
And like Pokemon has even done other puzzle games before that, like shit. What was the name of it? It was just another version of Tetris Attack, but it was Pokemon themed. What was that one again?
Shuffle?
Battle Treasure?
Puzzle League.
Puzzle League, yeah.
Yeah. God, Pokemon had weird spin-offs.
And there was also the Game Boy Color, yeah, Pokemon Puzzle Challenge. That's right. I had the Game Boy. I had Puzzle Challenge as a kid. And those games were interesting. But again, they were part of the weird, spin-offs.
You know, why is it every time Pokemon gets a spin-off, it's usually either some kind of puzzleware game or something out of left field like Ranger or Conquest?
Ranger
wasn't that out of left field.
I loved Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved the first game when it came out, but like after you've played the second and third games, you cannot play the first game ever again.
No.
I never really got into Ranger because I didn't like how the Pokemon kept. Okay, so I kind of quit Ranger at the fucking Charizard thing because I could never catch up to the fucker. But it's like I know that I don't like the Ranger games, and that's mostly because of gameplay.
Right.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching. I enjoy watching them, just not playing them.
That's fair.
At least it's not like the other DS era game that I hate. And that is Digimon World.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a new Ranger game, but without that capturing
I don't think
mechanic.
they can make. Well, that's the entire point of the Ranger games, though.
Yeah.
I mean, just you don't instead of playing like some kind of mini game, it's like do something else, throwing out the little Beyblade.
Okay, there is something here though, because the Switch does have a touchscreen.
It does, but
I like.
I will say
TV.
doing. Whoa! Did anybody else hear that, or was that just me?
No.
Okay, I think my headphones just freaked out for a second there.
Was it a sudden static noise?
Kind of.
Is there?
Because that's what happened to me.
Is there a ghost in the machine?
No, I think I think the connection for my headphones just came out of the thing for like a second.
Yeah, but it's just weird. Because Kalion had it.
Okay, was it? Yeah. Okay, so describe the noise.
Demonic.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all I got for
Mine
you.
was like a crackle.
Yeah, no, mine was like just sudden demonic, loud. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm still leaning towards Ghost in the Machine.
Yeah, I think just I think the just connection came loose for a second, and that's why it did that to me.
So who's next to get spooked?
Huh?
It's two of us have been spooked. Who's next? Dark, me, or Giga?
Who
Are we
knows?
playing Spot the Shiny? It's the third one in.
Okay. I'm just showing off how many Landorus I have.
I like those Pokemon, but I also hate them.
Hmm.
It's that tail in their genie form. It's just a little weird.
They're not genies.
I know, but I'm just saying it's a genie form. I don't know what else to call them. They're Kami form.
Kami. Also, they're called the incarnate forms.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just the name for them.
Huh.
Like, it's even official.
I prefer Therian. I prefer the Therian forms.
Yeah, same.
Uh, you
Yeah,
could
the
probably get
humanoid
all
form
of
is called
Pokemon
the
home with those Furfrou alone.
what?
You could probably get all of Pokemon home with just the special Furfrou.
Well, no, mostly just the Pharaoh and maybe the Rain. The rest of them don't really fetch much of anything.
I just realized you have
I
a shiny Pharaoh one.
No, I don't.
Isn't the dark blue one shiny?
No, the dark blue one is just the Pharaoh. The light blue one is the Rain.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. They're the same to me.
Yeah. You can tell a shiny Furfrou because the white fur is black.
Okay. Even with the haircut?
Yeah.
Damn, I kind of want to go play X and Y again and get a shiny Furfrou now. And just go through the
Phoenix,
They
do
were
me a
game.
actually
favor.
Huh?
They were actually fairly easy to get.
Can you like say Furfrou again?
Furfrou. I'm purposely mispronouncing it, yes. Furfrou.
Okay.
But yeah, so they were actually fairly easy to trade. Also, the natural form Furfrou don't fetch anything.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way.
No one's looking for them.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen a shiny Esper.
Yeah, I got that like yesterday.
Like, I don't know why. I always thought it was like the same color, but its eyes were a different color.
No,
PTSD Pokemon.
see if I can find other interesting shinies in here. Well, the answer to that is yes. Also, I have a story or not really a story, but I have a complaint / vent. Once I post this,
Oh boy.
Yeah, Bacon Bird.
I saw in the GTS a shiny 10%,
Hmm.
and I jumped on it, and someone had already taken it by the time.
Aw.
my turn
That
was.
sucks.
I don't think those things are easy to find.
You would have to transfer a
It was
shiny
from-
Zygarde from X and Y.
It was from Sword and Shield.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's rare.
Yeah.
Especially you can only catch one legendary of a type per playthrough, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was from, I think, Shield specifically.
That's crazy.
But yeah, someone else jumped on it before I could get to it.
You know, I never liked the shinies for the Gen 6 Pokemon.
I like them.
Bit too much white.
I mean, that's kind of the theme with them.
I know.
The black parts turn white.
And Zygarde also lost its neon green to being more of a turquoise.
Which I like, actually.
I like the turquoise, yeah. It's nice.
This was difficult.
The
Yeah, I
Meteor?
bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard one to shiny hunt. The best way to shiny hunt
Yeah.
that in Sword and Shield is actually counting them because the shiny spawns is an extra 16th one.
Ah.
Yeah, it's like a whole. It's like I've discovered the method on YouTube actually. They found out like every outbreak when you refresh the spawn, there's always 15. If it's in an area that allows the full max spawn, it's always 15 spawns. Unless there's a shiny, the shiny is counted as an extra spawn, and you get the 16th. So
Ah.
so it's a good way to shiny hunt hard to see shinies like Meteor,
Minior,
because if
yeah.
you get 16 of them, one of them is a shiny, and you can just go killing them until it stops you.
Neat.
Did its
Just
Necrozma's in his true form? Did he have any difference with his shiny?
Yes, the yellow turns light blue, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Can we have that Pokemon back? I don't care how we get. Can it just be an evolution?
Make any sense.
I know it wouldn't make
Also, I
sense,
do
but I
need
just
to
want that back. It's such a good Pokemon.
show this off. I bought these from a Jenner, but I don't care because I missed the events.
I don't. Yeah, I have both. I don't know where my data Zarude is. It's on. I think I tried to transfer. No, no, it's still on Sword. Because I only transferred my regular Zarude to Sword and Shield. Scarlet and Violet. One of the most forgettable mythical Pokemon.
yeah.
It's just a monkey.
Well, I mean, I like Zarude.
It's more that they just didn't do much with it.
They did a movie, and that's about it.
And it
Yeah,
was just
but like
Tarzan.
it was after everybody had kind of been burnt out on all the Pokemon movies. So,
Hmm.
I mean, wasn't it the first reboot movie?
No,
No, that was the Marshadow one.
and that was a
Oh,
good
okay.
movie. That was
It's
actually pretty good.
The Zarude movie was also good. It was just Tarzan, but that doesn't make it not good.
At that point, I'm just going to go watch Tarzan.
Yeah,
At least you get Phil Collins
I think actually.
with the Disney version.
Okay, the music in Tarzan is great, but also the
Uh-huh.
song in the Zarude movie is good.
Yeah, but Phil Collins.
Um,
I'm sorry. The Tarzan soundtrack has a special
I
place in my
understand.
young little heart.
I understand.
yeah.
It's like for some reason I don't
No,
know
see
if it's
that's me with Lion King.
yeah, Lion King has great music too. God, old Disney had bangers.
They
Not
did.
just Disney. I'm going to go find something.
Are we going to bring up Anastasia?
No.
Oh, because that had bangers too.
DreamWorks, wow, had pretty good songs in a lot of their older movies too.
Yeah.
I'm talking like Road to El Dorado.
Uh-huh. That was a good movie. That movie gets slept on.
The music. The music of this.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Balto's music. Man, we grew up with great movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What the fuck
Like
happened?
Balto's soundtrack in general was very understated and also very underappreciated. Like you're not gonna see the first Balto movie breaking out into song
Right.
with bombastic whatever, but its soundtrack is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like more good musicals though out there.
Yeah, they're few and far
Because
between.
I actually really enjoy the idea of musicals. I can't remember like where I heard it, but I heard somebody say that what makes a good musical isn't that people just sing what they're feeling; it's that their emotions become so strong that the only way that they have to express them is through music.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of interested in the second Joker movie, because it's supposed to be a
Yeah.
musical.
Yeah.
And like Joaquin Phoenix can sing, and Lady Gaga is going to be Harley Quinn, and Lady Gaga can sing.
Lady Gaga would make a really good Harley Quinn too.
I know. I cannot wait to see it.
So we are just about at time.
are.
Do we want to wrap it up?
We can begin
Sure.
wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Let's go around the circle. What do you expect next week? Like an actual, not hypothetical, like an actual prediction.
Okay, so actual prediction on my end. We're going to get some spin-off news, mostly Cafe Remix, some Pokemon Masters, and Pokemon Go stuff. As far as Scarlet and Violet stuff goes, I expect new raid, and I don't know what to expect as far as actual content goes. I want a new DLC, but I don't think I expect it so much as just want it.
Okay.
What do I expect? I don't know what I expect.
I do also expect some sort of Unova content or hint.
I will say I expect there to be some sort of nostalgia bait game or other announcement.
I'm pretty sure that's just Unova at this point.
Yeah.
that's a good bet because that covers so much. That's like betting
It does,
even or
but
odd
like
roulette.
it is.
We should make a bingo card for
Oh my
Pokemon Day.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
every
I
square
bet.
is Unova.
No,
I bet
Unova's
our
the free
Pokemon
space.
already has.
Every square is Unova, and the free space is just marked free Unova.
Bingo!
Yeah, I bet our Pokemon already has.
Also, new Pokemon in Unite.
Oh, that's been confirmed already.
Yeah.
That got data mined already.
Okay.
And I can tell you who it is. I can tell you
I-
the two it is.
Okay.
You want to know?
Yeah.
Miraidon and
I don't follow
Koraidon.
Unite. Oh, cool.
Ooh.
That's neat.
Miraidon 100%. Koraidon is iffy. But so people are saying if one's coming, the other's going to be coming too.
Yeah.
Well,
Not always.
I would still like to play Pokemon Unite with somebody.
yeah, for the record, I don't follow Unite. I just know some stuff about it.
I got bored with it so fast and deleted it.
Right. The thing with Unite is you need friends to play it with.
Yeah, like I was watching Dark play Smite earlier, and I was like, this looks like it would be fun with friends around.
Yep. Solo queuing in anything like this is always a disaster. Yeah. And that also goes for like MMO raids and dungeons.
Yeah.
Solo queuing is a disaster.
The only MMO in which it is not a disaster is Final Fantasy XIV.
Well, ESO isn't that much of a disaster unless you're playing DPS.
Yeah. And even then, like, there are people that fake heal and fake tank.
Or yell at you and kick you out of the group because you're a healer sort and not a Templar.
Yeah.
And like the big reason I think Final Fantasy XIV skirts around this is because a lot of the dungeons are required for the story.
Mm.
So, Giga, Dark, what are your hard predictions for next week?
I can't really weigh in here because I've been out of the Pokemon loop for so long.
Fair.
Okay.
Honestly, Unova's got me covered.
Okay. I'm going to say something out of left field.
Mhm.
A new mythical.
I think
Yeah.
that we do have like rumors of that. Yeah.
I could see that happening.
Don't let me use my. Don't make it seem like I'm using a cheaty bet.
I
We
I
won't.
already did, so
Yeah. It's like it's rumored. It's there's something in the code, and it's like perfect time to reveal a new Pokemon.
Okay. Well, what's in the code? Because I remember that like before Walking Wake and Iron Leaves were revealed, there was a placeholder that was just the Pikachu.
There is a placeholder after Petulant,
Neat.
and no one knows what it is because the data's not there. It's just like a
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
There's just a thing, and when people try to gen it in the game, it's like you get the bad egg because it's
Right.
data's not
Okay.
there yet.
Because yeah. Okay. So like for the record, for anyone watching, a bad egg isn't necessarily the game going, "Ha, gotcha! Don't try to cheat." It's just what the game has been doing since Gen 2, although Gen 3 is when they started calling it a bad egg. Um, it's a Pokemon that does not exist. It is the missing no of the more recent gens
Hmm.
in the sense of this is an empty index number. Why it's empty is up for debate or depends on the game or whatever, but it's just a placeholder
Yes,
that has some negative effects if you try to dig too deep into it.
as in corrupting your game.
Not necessarily. Like it can, but like for example, a bad egg in um a bad egg in Gen 3 is just it kind of just exists.
Hmm.
A
yeah.
bad egg in Battle Revolution is a sign of a hacked Pokemon. It's
Each had their own use.
yeah. Uh yeah, so by the way, did you know that in Japanese they're called useless eggs?
No, I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like when it says bad egg, it's not like evil or you did a bad thing. It's just it's a it's a not good egg. It's a dud. It's useless.
Yeah, that's when every time when I got the bad egg in I think it was Emerald, I always just assumed, oh, it's like a rotten egg.
Ah,
Yeah, I mean that's always how I interpreted
yeah.
it too.
But like it's a useless egg because without other cheating to spur it along, it will never hatch.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Which means that you can't get rid of it because you can't release eggs.
Game Shark go burr.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or Pika Hex.
Right.
Actually, wait, I don't know if Pika Hex does that.
No, I don't think it was that far
I
back.
guess you can replace. You can save something over the slot though.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, so to wrap this up,
All right.
who knows what's coming next week? I know we only have hints and teases. That's from all we know. But no, we will be there to cover it all next week.
Unless we aren't for some reason.
Yeah.